with this session on IWRM and water governance in the Arab region. My name is Lars Ribbe. I'm the director of the ITT, Institute for Technology and Resource Management in the tropic and subtropics of Cologne, University of Applied Sciences. And here in this country in particular active with a master course called IWRM, Integrated Water Resource Management, already since 2006. So I'm at that occasion also very happy that I see a lot of graduates from this master program actually, who are, many of them who are now working in the water sector, not only in Jordan, also in other countries. And that is perhaps the biggest satisfaction you can get as an educator, to see that the graduates are already performing well after graduation. On the other hand, I would also like to make an announcement before we start, and that is about a session which we could not integrate into the program. This is a session we will offer today at 4 o'clock. It is about one region, one concept, harmonizing concepts of strategy and strategies of the capacity development of German actors in the water sector in Jordan. So this is co-organized with the German Water Partnership, and the idea is that we realize there are a lot of activities, especially of German institutions in Jordan, but little coordination and little knowledge about each other. And I think it could be well also adopted perhaps by other programs, but in particular it is interesting to see the options to coordinate activities of different stakeholders in a better way. And that is the intention of the session. If you're interested to join, please contact me after this session, and we will let you know the details about the program and also where it happens. I don't know, Aline is not here, but I wonder where the room is. I can perhaps announce it at the end of this session. Well, now let's come to the presenters. Unfortunately, I have to say, the last speaker, Badia Chouli from Tunisia, she's not here yet, unless she arrived now, but I doubt that. So we have one speaker less. That is good for the time management perhaps, but it's of course sad for missing this interesting topic on transboundary groundwater management. So let us start, and then I'm particularly proud now to, or I can name perhaps the speakers. You've seen them in the program briefly. Dua Telfah is the recent IWRM graduate, and she received not yet really the document of the master thesis, but she graduated successfully, and not yesterday, whoever attended the ceremony yesterday, and not only successfully, but actually she achieved the best result of a master thesis. And for that we invited her to this session. It was an open space in the session, and I will announce your topic in just a second. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce also who else is speaking today. We have a second speaker who is also a graduate of our master program, Abdul Khalik Alwan from Yemen, and I'm looking forward to your presentation in particular. I will also present the topic and all that before you speak. And then last but not least, Maha Al-Zourbi from Jordan, doing now her PhD in Canada. And she just told me she's coming back now to Jordan after some time, and she's happy to build up also relationships here regarding her PhD. And I think it is interesting to share this research ideas, concept, but also the results with you in order to start into a very interesting discussion regarding the Nexus approach. So we are looking forward to this session, and I would like to ask Dua to start presenting about the performance of water utilities after changing towards a corporatization model, taking the example of Miahuna here in Jordan. Yes. Thank you very much, and I will, if I can, I will start this. Yeah, there's. It should. Okay, first the presentation mode. Yeah, that's a good idea. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. So my thesis was about the application of the commercial principle in water service provision, the Jordanian experience. Through this presentation, I will go through this following topic. First, Jordan, as we already know that it's a water scarce country, so Ministry of Water and Irrigation, which is mandated to deliver the water and wastewater services, trying different initiatives in order to overcome this constraint. So one of these initiatives was the application of the commercial principle. Thank you. The application of the commercial principle. The first experience was in Amman through the management contract, Lima, which is actually commenced its work in 1999 for 7 years. The management contract, or Lima, enhanced the performance for Amman utility. Now, the successor for the management contract was Miyahuna, which is commenced its work in 2007. According to the Assignment and Development Agreement and the Article of Association and Memorandum of Association, Miyahuna have the responsibility to provide the water and wastewater services and also enhance the performance and achieve other targets. Okay, the problem statement was that the international experience shows generally a very positive outcome at the beginning of the application of the corporatization, but after a while the performance tends to flatten out due to the deterioration of the commercial incentives. Also, government detecting the decision on the policies and day-to-day operation, thus the institutional separation between the government and the corporate is ruled out. Also, there has no comprehensive evaluation of Miyahuna performance, and there is an increased customer complaints as reported by the performance management unit. The specific objective of this research was review and track Miyahuna performance as measured by PMU, then investigating Miyahuna performance in view of its obligation according to the assignment agreement, compare Miyahuna, the management contract, and the government management by assess the performance trend historically and using a base year. Also compare Miyahuna performance with a regional and international water norms. So this specific objective will guide us to achieve the main objective of this research, which is assessing the utilization of the commercial principle and the corporatization in managing water services through Miyahuna experience. The methodology used in this research was two approach. Was the first one, the historically track Miyahuna water utility performance under different governance and management setup, which was done by measuring the indicators, which is recommended by IWA and which is used by the performance management unit. Also, evaluation of the process and the corporate requirement. And the third one, isolating the performance from external factor. The second approach was benchmarking Miyahuna performance against the regional and international utility. This was done by measuring the indicator and compare it with the criteria used by the IPNet. Okay, four major aspects of corporatization were assessed. The first one is the Miyahuna autonomy, measured by the financial sustainability indicators. The second one was the customer satisfaction, which was measured by the level of service indicator. The third one, the efficiency, which is measured by the operational indicators. The fourth one was the process soundness, which was evaluated by evaluation of the corporatization process and the corporate requirement. Now, in order to achieve the autonomy of Miyahuna, different criteria was evaluated. These four criteria was the cost, the revenue, the cash availability, and the cost recovery. The methodology used, as I already said, the historically tracked Amman water utility and compared Miyahuna performance against the regional and international utility. The external factor affecting Miyahuna performance which is also already taken in this study, was the tariff increase, the inflation rate, the increase in electricity tariff for water pumping, replacing the cheap resource with the expensive one, employee strike, the introduction of the charge payable for wastewater treatment charge, frequent change in Miyahuna top management. Now, for the first criteria cost, we will take the first indicator, which is the nominal and real operational and maintenance cost. Generally, the nominal operational and maintenance cost increased over the studied period. We take a base year, 1999, since it was operated under the government wage. So the operational and maintenance nominal cost was about 28 million JD in 1999. Now, in Miyahuna period, the operational and maintenance cost increased by 67.7%, while in Miyahuna increased by 82.8%. In real term, the operational and maintenance cost of Miyahuna period shows a decrease of 33.4%, while in Lima, increased by 33.2%. Now, in order to calculating the real cost, we was removing the inflation rate. This curve shows the inflation rate in Jordan. We can see the red curve, which is a cumulative inflation rate based on the 1999, which is generally increased. Also, the blue one, it's the inflation rate based on 1999 prices. We can see that in 2008 there is a discrepancies. This discrepancies due to the financial crisis happened in Jordan in 2008. Generally, the average water inflation in Lima was 2.7%, while in Miyahuna was 5.4%. The total period inflation in Lima period was 21%, while in Miyahuna was 53%. Now, the nominal billed water unit cost, as we see, this curve shows that the nominal value of the unit operational and maintenance billed water cost is increased over the studied period. We also, in the nominal term, the billed water unit cost expressed in Jordan dinar per meter cubic increased by 15% in Lima period, while in Miyahuna, the overall increase was 45%. Now, in the real term, the unit cost of 1 billed cubic meter is decreased in Lima period by 8.5%, while during Miyahuna, it's decreased by 47%. Generally, Miyahuna performance was enhanced. So, now, compared with the international and regional entities or utilities, Miyahuna billed water and wastewater operational cost is higher than the median international operational and maintenance unit cost. Also is higher than the average international operational and maintenance unit cost, and it is with the third quartile of operational and maintenance unit cost. Now, the billing revenue is, as we see in this curve, is increased over the studied period. Also, the total revenue is increased over the studied period in Lima and Miyahuna. But Lima managed to increase the billing and the total revenue by 117%, while also for the total revenue, 152%. Okay. Now, Miyahuna increased the billing and the total revenue by 53% and 49% respectively. So Lima and Miyahuna steadily increased the revenue. Now, the same applies even when we excluding the tariff increase as the external factor. For the unit billed and the total revenue, and with and without the tariff increase, also the same applies. The total and the billed revenue is increased over the studied period. But as we can see that in 2002 there was a discrepancies. This discrepancies was due to the data transformation from Scopus 2 to X7. Also, the increase happened in 2005 and 2006 was resulted from the tariff increase by a lump sum. Also there was in 2012, and later there was an increase in the revenue and the total and the bill. This was due to the new tariffs in 2011. Now the total and the billing revenue were slightly decreased during 2007 and 2010. This was due to there was no investment in expanding the water and wastewater network. There was a constant quantity of the billed water. Now, comparing the non-revenue water to the revenue, to international norms, the revenues of Miyahuna is higher than the revenue of other international utilities, as we can see in this graph. The non-revenue water, Lima managed to reduce the non-revenue water percent in its period from 52% in 1999 to 47% in the first year of its operation. Then it achieved the 43% in the remaining period, while Miyahuna reduced it from 43% in 2006 to almost 35% and 2013. We can see that there is a discrepancies also in 2002. This was due to the billing, data transforming from Scopus 2 to X7. Also, there was a sharp decrease in 2011. This was due to the changing the billing cycle from quarterly to monthly, and there was a sharp increase also in 2012. This is due to the employee strike. This employee strike actually affect the performance of Miyahuna in the non-revenue water and make it increase by 8%. This was costing Miyahuna 8.8 million JD from its revenue. Now, comparing non-revenue water with the international utilities, we can see that when comparing Miyahuna with a median value of international non-revenue percent and the average value of international non-revenue percent, Miyahuna managed to reduce the non-revenue water from almost twice the international norms to almost being or equal the average and the medium of the international non-revenue water percent. Now, the third criteria is the cash availability. We will see the account receivable in million JD. During Lima, it has increased in nominal value by 77%, while in Miyahuna, the nominal amount increased by 3.1% only. Now, the fourth criteria is the operational and maintenance cost recovery. As we can see that Lima average yearly enhancement was 6.1%, just only the year 2004 where the operational and maintenance cost recovery percent is dropped by 5.3. This was due to the fuel crisis. But in Miyahuna, the cost recovery was more than 100 over the Miyahuna establishment years. There was an discrepancies in 2008. This was due to the financial crisis happened in Jordan. In 2012, there was also discrepancies. This was due to the employee strike. Also, in 2013, the DC Water also come and make the discrepancies. Comparing the cost recovery with the international norm, Miyahuna achieved a higher percent compared to the international mean and median. It is only utility similar Miyahuna, the band, who's achieved the similar or slightly higher ratio than the Miyahuna. Now, the second criteria or aspect of corporatization was the customer satisfaction, which is measured by the level of service PIs. This indicator was increased through Miyahuna period, which is the quality of water supplied, the non-billing complaint, non-new connection efficiency, water quality complaints, billing complaints, water quality complaints. For the microbiological water quality complaints and physical and chemical water quality complaints, it was fixed through the year. But for the supply index and the subscriber receiving continuous supply indicator was decreased through the period of 100 هنا. The third aspect of corporatization is the efficiency of operation, which was measured by the operational indicators. The rate of flow of subscriber meter replacement and the percent of the processed repairs within the target time was verifying through the years. But for the network repair rate and the water losses per total length and per water service connection, this indicator was increased. Now, for the fourth criteria and the last one, the process soundness, which was evaluated by evaluating the